And you could imagine that when people say non-native species, that is about all these plants and animals from somewhere else. But if you then talk to people, you find out that they don't think of every non-native species. For example, the potato is perceived as very beneficial, and so people say, well, it's only about the detrimental species. And then you find other people who say, well, considering climate change, we expect many people to come in just as an adaptation to a warming climate. And since that is a natural process and we cannot stop it anyways, we don't want to focus on these non-native species. It's only the ones that are introduced by humans. And so you end up very quickly with human-induced detrimental species that are considered non-native. And that kind of, for me, poses the question, why do we have this to distinguish between human-aided introductions and natural spreading species? Because if both are detrimental, and potentially they are both detrimental, what makes it different? And people would say, well, somehow people are responsible for it, and responsibility for a negative cause kind of leads us to questions within moral considerations or environmental ethics. So that's quite interesting. And on the other side, detrimental, what is actually perceived as detrimental, and is that perceived by every group in the society. So one special aspect of a detrimental impact I found in my research was images people have of certain places. For example, one of my interviews, she said that she likes to go to the Cairngorm Plateau, and she wants the Cairngorm Plateau to look like the Cairngorm Plateau. And if there was a non-native species coming in, that would kind of ruin this image she has. So in this case, non-native species don't even have to be very abundant or detrimental if they kind of alter the image one person has of a certain area that can be perceived as detrimental. And that is down, for me at least, that's down to very personal values. And to sum it up, this whole debate about non-native species is, of course, about the detrimental impact species have. It is about environmental ethics and what kind of moral considerations people put in there. And it is about personal values. And my job is actually to kind of figure out how complex this intuitive concept non-nativeness actually is.